Let us talk about economy and war. You can't develop your country if the economy of your country is affected by war. You can't either have a strong economy in the world if you are involved in a lot of world conflict. Well, in this video, I want us to focus more on what the Ukrainian government of Zelensky, they are demanding to the world now that everything it has been exposed by the Vladimir Putin, the men who have been defeating the West so far. But since there are those kind of people who don't want to show the world or to tell the world the truth about what is happening, they're not going to talk about this in their medias. They're never going to discuss about it. Instead, they'll focus on something else because all they usually want to do is to distract the world. But for those who always watch us time to time, those who follow news more closely, you will understand that the USA with NATO nations, they are in big trouble as their economy is busy collapsing, and their currency, which is the dollar and the US and pounds, they are busy losing. It is busy losing the value that the world usually know about it. So, guys, you know, we all know that it's been for some times now that the conflict, which the West called the war, that they consider that is the Republic of Russia had imposed on Ukrainians, still going on, and this war had damaged a lot of economy in Ukraine. But at first, for those who always watch us, you'll remember we told you about a year ago that this war that is ongoing in Ukraine is not going only to affect the economy of Ukraine, but this conflict is gonna affect also the all Europeans economy. Besides affecting the European economy, it's gonna affect the entire world, because whenever there is a war somewhere which does not want to be stopped anytime soon, it will affect the economy globally, if I have to put it in that way. And we are now seeing it, each and every nation around the world, they have to complain in one way or another way when it comes to their economy because of this war that has been going on in Ukraine. To make things even more worse, now that the Western power, which is the US, they decided to jump over there in the Middle East to go and start supporting Israel in order for them to eliminate or make variation of Palestine. This war again is going to add a 1+ to what we've been experiencing in the world of economy. So when we said these things before, I believe most of people did not pay attention to what we wanted to tell you. When we give you our point of view, some people maybe they thought that, okay, this is just saying things for fun. But lately, this war now, it has affected the entire world, and especially the people who are involved in this war. Because I had said it before that defeating, saying that Russia will be defeated is something else, but defeating Russia, it is also something else. I had my reasons why I said so. Because Russia, we all know that is one of the powerful nations in the world. They have almost everything that all these big nations have. Any kind of weapons, you will also find that they have it. They were having a very strong economy. So the moment you are deciding to engage in a war with a nation such as Russia, then you must know that it's not going to be easy for you. So in other words, you need to be prepared for whatsoever will happen. It's not something that you'll start in the morning and finish in the evening. I had said that this war, it will last forever. Now, when the US with the NATO nations decided to engage in a war with Russia, they did it because they had that self-confidence in them, believing that no, since we are so many nations and Russia is all by himself, we can go ahead and finish this Russia once for all. And that is how they went in Ukraine, seducing people of Ukraine, promising them that they will protect them against Vladimir Putin. and people of Ukraine with their puppet government, they end up accepting to be helped by the US with NATO nations so that they can go ahead and engage in a war with Vladimir Putin. Later on, after 2 years of this conflict, they end up realizing that people who had promised them paradise, people who had promised them to protect them by all means, they are now abandoning them. On how? Well, I'll talk with you about it in a bit. But these people are abandoning them, and people of Ukraine, they end up realizing that no, we are now in a big trouble. We are already in a big trouble. How are we going to live out from this? Because all the time we supposed to be negotiating, we were not able to negotiate. Now we have reached to this point, and all our alliance, they're busy running away. Each and every NATO countries, they're busy blocking their pockets. They don't want to spend anymore. In our previous video, I told you guys some of the reasons why such countries as the US, British, and France, they are busy isolating themselves slow by slow from the Ukrainian war activities. And the reason is that these countries, they are used to deal with countries such as African countries, where they know that whatsoever they will bring in Africa, they know that they will benefit in one way or other way. They will go there, they will impose their leadership on a puppet government or an African leader who will be there and start stealing in their behalf, you know, and they will be able at the same time to have access to the minerals which are in that African countries, and they'll loot as much as they want, until when they'll get tired of that puppet African leaders, they'll replace him with someone else, or maybe they'll create a terrorist group or rebellious groups which will help them to at least always have a easy way or a easy access to continue benefiting from Africa wealth. That was not the case with Ukraine, because Ukraine does not have that minerals as the one the West usually benefiting from. So they went in Ukraine and they were busy spending billions of money hoping that they will defeat Vladimir Putin. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Vladimir Putin with Russia, by themselves, without the help of any other nations, they are managing to resist so far. And the US with their alliance, they realize that we don't have a chance to survive on this one. We don't have enough time, we don't have enough money. Joe Biden already been put in big trouble because these things of him keep on founding Ukraine. It's already start damaging his campaign for the upcoming general election in 2024 for the American citizen. And he was at least having that hope that if is the administrative I'm referring to, because after all is the one who's leading the USA at the moment. So if his government, they can manage to lock Donald Trump in jail, so these other Republicans candidates, they were not going to be that strong for him, and it was going to be easy for him to defeat them. But unfortunately, that's not the case, because according to all the reports that we are having in our possessions, when it comes to the Republicans campaign, so far it's still Donald Trump standing at 48% in most of the American states. Whenever they do their campaigning, whenever they do the debates, Donald Trump still have more chance to be the only one candidate which will represent the Republicans when it comes to this general election in 2024 in America. So now imagine Joe Biden finding himself in front of someone as Donald Trump after what had happened in their previous elections, which Joe Biden won. Can you imagine what kind of revenge will Donald Trump have to come in order for him to defeat Joe Biden back? I'm afraid to tell you this now, before it happened, that if these two have to go and face each other again, I don't see on how or which way Joe Biden will survive against Donald Trump. Do you know why? Because Joe Biden, since he came in power, he have done things that people were not expecting someone like him was gonna do it. He have put the world into a big conflict. He have created a lot of war here and then, believing that it was a good strategy for him. But unfortunately, people of the world, countries, leaders, everywhere, everyone, they are tired already of this kind of things. Everyone, they just want to see this world being at peace and seeing how this world economy get to develop, especially for the small countries which are located in Africa and Asia. Now, seeing Joe Biden coming in power, and all he does is to go around the world founding up countries in order for them to engage in a war with other nations, the war that does not even benefiting people of America, the war that does not even finish anytime soon, but the war that lasts for this long. It had already reduced his percentage to be re-elected again as the president of the USA. Besides that, also his age, the man is old. Yes, Uncle Joe Biden is already be at the age that someone's grandfather supposed to be sitting somewhere in Iceland or maybe in a ranch and just to go and take a break and, you know, play around with your grandchildren. But unfortunately, that's not the case with Uncle Joe Biden. I believe he had his own reasons, but we shall wait and see, because so far he's the only one who have to represent himself again for his second term. But I'm afraid to say that if he have to meet someone such as a Donald Trump, I don't know. I don't have an idea of what will happen. Now, since the men have created all this conflict around the world, they went in Ukraine, they spent billions of money there already. The NATO nations, they put also money there. And at the end of the day, they realized that no, Vladimir Putin with Russia, they are stronger than we expected. Imagine all of them combined together. They are not able to defeat Russia up to now, because Russia is not giving up. They are not even able to attack Russia on their own, because they know that the day they will do that, it will be the disaster. Russia is gonna now jump from Ukraine maybe to France, or maybe from Ukraine to America or British, because they're never gonna tolerate any other nation to attack them in the name of Ukraine. They'll go behind Ukraine and see whoever's hiding behind Ukraine, which is all of us, we know them already, which is the USA, France, British, Germany, Belgium, Italy, all of them combined together. So Russia will have to go and start deal with those this kind of people at once. Is that what they are ready to deal with? I don't think so. So guys, now they spend all this money, and at the same time, they are not able to defeat Russia. Joe Biden now is facing a serious allegations which can even destroy his campaign over there, because everyone now, they understand that no, this man is here just to keep on taking our taxpayer money and founding other nations out there so that they can go and kill each other. In return, people of America, they are not benefiting anything. So now the man is trying to see on how he can stop what he had started already. He's trying to see on how he can stop this war. But which way will he have to stop this war if they can't negotiate with Russia? The negotiation which they had rejected long time ago, many times. We remember seeing even African leaders who went all the way to Russia for them to bring this, to play this middle role, to try to help these two nations. They met with Zelensky, they met with Vladimir Putin, and asking them that, no, look, the world need peace, the world need food, the world need to raise their economy. So we are asking you, please, put some water in your wine and let us sit down and talk. Vladimir Putin was willing to do so. But on the other side, the Americans, with their alliance, they had to pull the Zelensky here, telling him that no, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to respond even back to them. Just tell them that no, you get back to them, and that is how they left things. Besides Africa, we even saw China, who's the right hand of Russia. China was supposed even to decide and say that, okay, since you not on nations were busy attacking one of our BRICS country, let us also, as a BRICS nations, to start supporting Russia. But they did not do so. China went and asked if they can play the middle role. But since already the US, they're having also some pending conflict between them and China because of Taiwan, they end up telling Zelensky to not listen to China because they don't want China to be the middle man who have to play the role. So you can tell already that the way of negotiation is something that these people, they ran away from it long time ago. They did not want anything to do with it. The way of negotiation, they did not want to believe in it. They don't want it. They don't even want anyone to talk about it because they have to protect their own interest. And that is what they've been doing all this time. So now that their pocket is becoming dry, now that some of them, they are under pressure from their population in their countries, who are telling them that no, we can't keep on sending the money to Ukraine. Now they are busy trying to isolate themselves and not continue founding Ukraine. But at the same time, Russia is busy hammering Ukraine to the way that you can't even have an idea. It's just that they don't want to talk to them. They don't want to talk about it in their medias. But the truth is that Russia is busy taking even some of the cities which Ukraine had already had before in this war. But they don't want to talk about it. Right now, they take you, all of you, to go and focus on what is happening in Israel. All because they know that they just want to distract the world. Now, here's something that happened. Something very important happened. Because of this war, it had destroyed the economy of Ukraine. And Ukraine, they're becoming that crying baby. They depends on the US and NATO nations. Whatever these countries put to the table, on the table, is what Ukraine will have to survive with. If they buy them gun machines, that is what will help Ukraine to defend themselves against Vladimir Putin and Russia. If they put money maybe for food and water, that's what will help them. Now that these people, they close their hands, they don't want to spend anymore, well, Zelensky have done it again. And this time, he's demanding for something which no one expected. Zelensky is demanding for the Central Reserve Bank to release all the assets of Russia which they had possessed. Do you guys still remember when the US and Europe organizations, they were busy now putting sanctions on Vladimir Putin and Russia? Do you guys still remember that the USA by themselves, they had closed all the banks or the money of Russia, which was about 500 billion US dollar. All the Russia assets, they blocked it. And in a bit, I will try to explain you on how possible is it that Russia is a country, but yet someone have to come and block their money somewhere. I will explain that in a bit. But this is what they did. So they had stopped all the money that Russia had in this Central Reserve Bank. And this money, it was a way of telling Russia that you need to stop attacking Ukraine and leave the Ukraine soil. So that if Russia listened to them, once they took them out of sanctions, Russia was going to be able to get this money back. But unfortunately, the Russia did not also obey to what they had demanded from them. So this money, all these assets, was closed already. Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, accepted and asked for this Central Reserve Bank to release this money. Here's the reason what to give. The man is saying that Russia needed to pay for the damage that he had caused on the people of Ukraine. So, after what happened, according to him, he believed that all the damage that happened in Ukraine, whether it is with their economy, whether it is with their people who died, whether it is the power stations that have been targeting, or water, whatsoever is being damaged over there, Russia need to pay for it. And now he wants that they should take that money, which they had closed or had held against Russia, they should give it to him. And looking at how things are at the moment, that money is not going to fix any damage. It's not going to fix anything in Ukraine. That money, actually, it is the money that these men want to use in order for them to continue protecting themselves against Russia. Because the men, he can see that if things goes the way it's going, Kyiv is going to be in the hand of Russia very soon. So in order for them to resist a little bit, long against Russia, he need money. And there is no any other countries out there who give him the money. So how is he going to resist against Russia, who's still breathing so strong? That is how he asked this Central Reserve Bank to give them the money which belongs to Russia. Now, let's say if they do so without the approval of Russia, how is it going to be? Because if this Reserve Bank give this money, here's the things that will happen to their economy. This money, as we're talking right now, just for the fact that Russia does not have it in their possession, just for the fact that Russia is not using this money, for the fact that Russia is not having access to these accounts, this money, the Reserve Bank is using it to grow their economies. What is holding the economy of Europe at the moment? Because the economy of Europe has been down from the moment when Vladimir Putin started attacking Ukraine. So this money at least is helping them to grow up their economy. And we all know that when you take your money, you give it to the bank will use your money and they'll pay you some benefits. But unfortunately, this one of Russia, I don't believe that whenever they'll pay it with benefit. So those benefits that Russia is supposed to be having is what this Central Reserve Bank, they are busy benefiting from it. Now that Zelensky with Ukraine, they're asking for this money to be in Ukraine bank accounts. What will happen to this Central Reserve Bank? You see, that's what it shows already. It will destroy their economy even more worse to the way, more worse than the way it's already been destroyed. And we know that this money is not for it to go and fix all the buildings which are being damaged over there in Ukraine. This money, obviously, it is a money which is going to make the Ukrainian politician to become even more richer. Guys, for your own information, this war that's been going on in Ukraine, it had made a lot of Ukrainian politicians become richer. Because the money is coming in and these politicians, they are stealing as they wish. Don't worry, very soon, you guys will see the reports which they will release in the worldwide, which will show some of Ukrainians who are already becoming the millionaires. When you look their salary, you look what they already have, you run away. Recently in our previous video, I show you one of a Ukrainian daughter celebrating a birthday. And the father is throwing the money like wire. The next thing, the daughter left off with one of the most expensive Mercedes. That is politicians for you. So politicians, whenever they see money surrounding around, wow, they go crazy, I'm telling you. Especially when that money is coming from the ads. Because there's a difference when you are having a money that you are working for and when you are having a money that someone just giving you like a help. So you take advantage of that, and that's what's been happening. Now that these things have reached to this point, if they give Ukraine this money, what will happen tomorrow with Russia if Russia, they remove them out of these sanctions? Will this Central Reserve Bank be able to pay back all the money of Russia? Because there won't be any agreement which shows that Russia will say that, okay, fine, we are paying this money to Ukraine. Or what should we do? What should Zelensky do? Is he going to insist and ask for this money? Or is he going to make a call to Vladimir Putin so that they can negotiate? Because that is the only options which left on the table. And I'm not the one who suggests these options of them negotiating with Vladimir Putin. America, who's their #1 partner, who is the one actually who came and tell Zelensky, saying that, no, look, we should start considering on how to negotiate with Russia. Well, we shall wait and see what will happen. But in the meantime, this is crazy. And I don't know what will happen, whether the EU will give this money to Zelensky, and if they have to give this money, are them also willing to make their economy collapse or not? We shall wait and see in the time that has to come. Guys, let us wait again and see what will happen with the politics that Joe Biden has been doing lately. Because he came in power, he gave people of America a hope, and then the next things, the same people who had voted for him, they start complaining, especially of the money that's been funding people around the world in order for them to defeat other nations. He could not be able to finish what he had started in Ukraine. Now he had jumped in the Middle East, where there is Israel and Palestine. At the same time, he's been threatening Iran. Iran also, they don't want to be defeated by the US. I don't know what this world will become tomorrow. But the good thing is that so far, in 2024, there is a possibility that Russia and Ukraine will have to negotiate in order for them to terminate all this conflict that's been going on. So let us wait and see what will happen. But in the meantime, stay alert. And if you are a businessman or a businesswoman, if you especially are maybe involved in things like petrol, diamond, gold, just watch out before you spend your money, and find the proper way to invest your money, because this economy is affecting everyone around the world. So watch out and be careful before you lost your money. Before you start blaming other people, just be more careful on how you spend your money. In the meantime, we'll wait and see what will happen in 2024 and see who's gonna accept at least to end this conflict that's been happening around the world. That will be all for this evening, guys. Thank you so much. Do us a favor before you leave. Make sure that you give us your thumbs up, like this video. We'll really do appreciate that. But if this is your first time to come across our videos and maybe you find something beneficial in what we just discussed with you, well, all you have to do, you just have to click that subscribe button and click that ring bell, so that whenever we upload or we are here live, we will be able at least to get a notification. For now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.